I got broads in Atlanta. Just to lean the family. Credit cards and the scammers.
Speaking of humble
Solid
brag,
stuff right there.
You're still on the YouTube. I'm still on the YouTube. But all over the news, obviously, this week, listen, you have no love lost. I don't think it's any secret for Alex Jones, InfoWars. You're not a big fan. But what's your opinion this week on the unilateral action kind of taken against the channels across the board?
I mean, I have to admit that every time I talk about Alex Jones, I just want to rip off my jacket and go crazy. It's a supplements.
Yes.
But aside from that, I'm not a big fan. He suggested that I'm an atheist and that he would send people to the homes of some of the funders of the Daily Wire, and also that Satan should get behind him as he attacked me, and he was going to get in my business. So, yeah, Alex Jones and I are not the best of friends, but the fact that
I think that Ben is taking hallucinogenic mushrooms again, people, like Moses with the burning bush. If you listen to the same people online, that's their. Have you heard this conspiracy? People are like, "You're crazy, spaghetti monster God," and then they have this whole conspiracy about Moses was on hallucinogenic mushrooms with the burning bush. I'm like,
nice.
That takes so much more effort to make up that one. Just say it's non-existent. Let's just disagree.
Well, my favorite is when they suggest that I'm part of a dessert cult because they can't spell the word desert, so they instead say that I'm part of a dessert cult, which actually, frankly, sounds like an amazing cult. Like, if I were going to lead a cult, that would definitely, like the cheesecake cult. Come on, have a knish. Like, just come in.
Is knish a dessert? I'm not Jewy enough. I thought it was a
It is not
potato
actually.
thing.
It is not actually.
Okay.
So I should have picked like a kugel. Like a kugel would be better.
I'm calling you on your Jewish references. Look at this.
I know, my God. The
okay.
big Canadian Christian is nailing the Jew to the wall on his Yiddish references.
I don't feel comfortable. I don't like talking about nailing any Jew to a wall. This is taking a horrible turn. I learned that because I was watching a special. I remember with my friend in New York City, and it was this whole special on Ganeshes in Manhattan. And we just said, you know what? We've never had a Ganesh. And we went and we had it, and I got to tell you, it's all right. So back to the Alex Jones info. It's nothing special. What is your opinion on the disagreeing with him personally? I know you've had your personal run-ins.
Yeah, so Alex Jones is a complete douchebag, but the fact that all of these...
We understand that you don't like him, Shapiro.
Let me be clear. I think that he's a steaming pile of human dung. But the fact that Alex Jones is being banned by all of these various tech companies for bad reasons is really a problem. So if they had said, listen, we're not going to allow people on our platform who libel or who slander or who engage in widespread conspiracy theories. If they were to do that, that at least is some sort of objective standard that I guess that you could maybe hold to. But what you can't do is just say hate speech and then ban things. I mean, you can because you're a private company, but it sets a really bad standard because, I mean, Stephen, you know, I know, we all know, anybody on the conservative right knows that half the stuff that we say that is just basic fact is now construed as hate speech by folks on the left. If I say a man is a man and a woman is a woman, I have to have 600 police officers to protect me in Berkeley, and people are calling it hate speech. So I'm not comfortable with all of these tech companies using the category of hate speech to ban Alex Jones, even though, if I've not made clear, I think that Alex Jones is a dumpster fire of a human being.
Dumpster fire. I think I know where you're coming from with that. And you know, listen, I disagree with Alex. I think he implied that I worked for you at one point. People were telling me that something happened because he hadn't been on the show in a while, and I hadn't been on his. I
can't afford your salary, man.
I know you can't. You Jews are tight-fisted with a dollar. No, it really is one of those deals where it didn't make any sense to me because I know his son has been a supporter, and so I've always tried to be amicable with as many people as possible. And I'll go on shows whose views differ greatly from mine. I know you will too. But this does really concern me. I thought this. So you're a lawyer. I'm a lawyer, and I did think there's a Sandy Hook angle if they'd have spoken about this, because you know there's a lawsuit coming, and you know Sandy Hook, they're going to win, and apparently Alex said that he might countersue the Sandy Hook people, and I was thinking maybe if YouTube were to say we do not want the legal liability of allowing this to play out on their platform, but again, it's not. They spoke about hate speech.
Or even if they had just suggested which was the specific line that he crossed, if they just said, you're not allowed to call Sandy Hook victims child actors, right? Then it's like, okay, all right, like, okay.
It's a very specific policy. It seems kind of niche, but I think we know where you're going with this.
Exactly. Like then you can't do the first. They came for Alex Jones because he called the children of Sandy Hook child actors, and then they came for, because nobody else called them child actors. So there's no next step to the slippery slope. Right. But when you say first they came for Alex Jones because of hate speech, and then you're like, well, yeah, but they can expand that definition to encompass pretty much anything. So yeah, it's
and they're not consistent in applying it.
The coordinated hit of it was also a serious problem. Like, it wasn't just one outlet decide, okay, we're going to do this, and then 3 months later, another outlet decided to do it. It was all of a sudden all of them decided at once, which looks a hell of a lot like collusion. It looks like all these people are calling each other up.
Well, now let me ask you this: as a lawyer, what amount of evidence is needed if you're going to bring up collusion as an argument? I mean, at that point, what are the statistical odds of Spotify? Was it Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, or maybe it wasn't iTunes? And then they did. I think they did.
I think it was right. Yeah, it was Apple. I'm not sure iTunes. It was Facebook. It was YouTube.
Spotify.
And Spotify. All of them did it, within a day of each other. I think that there may be a monopoly argument there.
Yeah.
I mean, there may be a restraint of trade argument there, but this, I mean, honestly, I'm not going to speak outside my domain of constitutional law, which is
no, but that would lend itself to the argument of of it being effectively these major platforms. Some conservatives have argued, and for a long time I've said, I don't agree about them being public utilities if it acts as a monopoly. And like I said, in this case, this is pretty clear that it acted certainly as a monolith. They all acted in unison, which is very bizarre.
Yeah, and what's weird is you have all these people who are out there saying, so this is the part that drives me crazy. People say, so why are you defending Alex Jones? It's not like, again, I'm not defending Alex Jones. I'm defending the principle that you can't just call things hate speech and then ban them because they're quote-unquote hate speech. That's not an actual category of speech.
Right. It's not a thing.
Yeah, and it's a thing that can be used against anybody that you don't like. It's highly irritating to me when the left just creates these linguistic categories and then piles everybody into them. And I have to say, they are shrinking the Overton window. Now, Alex Jones may be outside the Overton window. I think he probably is. In fact, I definitely think he is. But that doesn't mean that the left thinks that he's the only person outside the Overton window, right? There was that whole Vox.com video they cut where it was like everyone's outside the Overton window now, right? It's not just Alex Jones. You're outside the Overton window, presumably. I'm outside the Overton window.
Yeah.
Like every single person is outside the Overton window, and you're left with a monolith of leftist opinion that is inside the Overton window, plus David Frum, Anna Navarro, and Max Boot, right, for now.
Right.
As long as David Frum and Max Boot end up being as anti-Trump as they are right now, then we will sort of give them this strange new respect where they get to talk. But if you are remotely conservative, even if you don't like Trump, then you are considered outside the realm of acceptable discourse.